Every morning the world starts quietly, one soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing, a spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Kindness Rising, your morning dose of hope, humanity, and heart. And this week, all week long, we are talking about visibility, how to be visible, the cost of visibility, the cost of invisibility, what to do to make yourself be seen, and why it's so important that we put ourselves out there. But there's also another side to that, which is the people who are out there performing, not just being natural, but actually performing all the time. There's a quiet exhaustion that comes with performing all the time, trying to say the right thing, trying to look the right way, trying to project the right image, and trying to keep everything just polished, even when life feels messy. Because the strange thing about performance is that when it works, it still feels like work. Because deep down, we know the difference between being seen and being presented. Today on Kindness Rising, we explore the difference between performing and showing up, because authenticity is not just more honest, it's more sustainable. Welcome to Kindness Rising. I am glad that you have chosen to join me here this morning. Absolutely. Let's get up and get it going. It starts with Joy Live. We're dancing this morning, right? Cheryl? Dancing, let's dance. I love when you do that. All right, I'm dancing too this morning with you, Cheryl Raphael Whitaker on the Mornings in the Lab Network, and everyone else who's out there. Get involved in the chant. Sully, of course. Thanks, Mike Sullivan, for showing up. We are talking today and all week, this week, about visibility, what it means to be visible, what it means to be invisible. Roseanne Roof, Mother, welcome in. How are you being visible today, Mom? You make yourself visible on the bocce court or on the beach, or what are you going to do today to make it? How about at a Haitian church? You'll be probably volunteering at that church. I don't know. But have fun doing whatever it is that you're doing to make yourself visible today, Mom. Anybody else out there, welcome in. Tell us, what are you doing today to make yourself be seen, and to be seen authentically? Authentically is not a word. Authentically is a word. Authentically. Interesting. Anyway, good morning. Yesterday we talked about having the courage to be seen. Today we're going to talk about the courage to be real. Because visibility alone isn't the goal, it's about alignment. Aligning with who you are personally. A year ago when I chose becoming more visible intentionally, I didn't face a question of, will anyone see this? I knew there were times people would, and there would times when people would, but I faced a deeper question that I didn't know. If they see this, when they see this, who will they see? In February of 2025 last year, I began getting involved with doing some texting, and there was some uncertainty. In March, I wrote my first deeply personal post, and that was vulnerability. And in April, when I joined my first live conversation, there was definitely discomfort. I've gone back and watched some of that video upstairs in my office, didn't know what I was doing. Still don't know what I'm doing. I'm still learning every day, but it is interesting. But here's the thing that it taught me, that one experience, was that live has a way of removing the filters, because you can't over-edit the present, and you can't polish authenticity in real time. Here I go. Bringing the music down a little bit, I think. I changed my sound here in the studio a little bit yesterday, and trying to figure that out a little bit. There's always constant tweaks. Constant tweaks is what I do here on Kindness Rising. It's just fun. It's fun to do it live. It's fun to work on progress over perfection. It's fun to get involved and meet all the people who are out there in Kindness Rising land, getting up, getting after it with a little hope, humanity, and heart, having a lot of fun this morning, and how freeing it is to just be yourself and speak your truth, or talk about the things that you want to talk about and lead the conversation the way that you want to do it, right? Because you cannot polish authenticity in real time. And yet that's where growth began. Showing up regularly for me created structure in my mornings every morning, but it also created clarity in my thinking, right? Starting to notice patterns in myself, what energizes me, what drains me, what matters to me, and what I wanted to learn more about. That was my story. And something surprising happened. I started performing less because it was just too difficult. Like, I was performing, I was reading, I still have a script, I still have support, but performing is too difficult to maintain. That's a microcosm, this experience. I'm talking about in life too, performing something that's not aligned with who you are, meeting external expectations versus your own, absolutely. Because performance, that requires your constant management. Authenticity requires attention, but it doesn't require maintenance. It's just showing up as ourselves. We reduce that internal friction and gain energy and become creative. Absolutely. It's for curiosity and for connection. What's up out there? Jess, welcome back. Missed you, Jess of the WWO 20. Yes, welcome in from Kentucky. Absolutely. Big O2D. What? Yeah, we are talking about visibility today, making ourselves visible, and how important it is when we have something to share that we share it. It's selfish to hold it in a little bit, right? To not be our true selves to the world, to bring our gifts to the world. And one way you can do it is by going live, of course. That's one way that I'm learning how to do it. And going live with the Mornings in the Lab Network, you can actually do that. DM me, let me know what you want to talk about, and we can help you. We have programs that can help you, just like we do with Cheryl Whitaker, and just like we do with myself and Jason Hewlett and Brianna Bass, who's going to be on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends today, and the whole crew at the Mornings in the Lab Network, behind our backs and at our sides, surrounding us. How's that? Absolutely. Jess, thanks for showing up. I really appreciate you. I hope things are going well out there in Kentucky. All right. I do want to get to a spotlight. I definitely will get to a spotlight. Actually, we're going to do 2 spotlights today. I promised. This is the week. This is the anniversary week of Uncommon Kindness, LLC, March 27th, which is a big day in my family. It's also my parents' wedding anniversary. It just happened to be coincidentally that both of those things happened on the same time. Coincidentally, universally, I don't know. But what I'm going to talk a little bit about in my spotlights and throughout the week is I want to talk about my journey here at Kindness Rising, how I got to where I am here, and the Uncommon Kindness journey, and ultimately the people. That's why we're here. That's what matters. The people. I named names yesterday. Each day this week and maybe into the future for a while. Who knows? Because there's so many. I'm going to forget somebody. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings by missing out. But because I love to give shout outs and I love to build our community. But I'm going to talk about a few of the significant people in my journey over the past year and what that has meant to me and the inspiration that they have had. But before I do that, I want to do my official kindness spotlight. Always love that little break and then the Pat Metheny jazzy guitar coming in on top. Anyway, today is here's our kindness spotlight. Authenticity often grows in community, and sometimes one encouraging voice that creates the conditions for many others to emerge. And there's an organization that's trying to help people emerge with authenticity and create connections. And the name of the organization is Skip the Small Talk. Skip the Small Talk creates structured environments. We go on here. There they are. We can figure this out at some point. I think I need a different screen. Anyway. Skip the Small Talk creates structured environments where people can move beyond surface level conversation and quickly engage in meaningful dialogue. Here it is. It's basically like the idea of speed dating, but it's a little bit more different than that. They have private and public events. It's not meant to be for dating. They actually have authenticity, connections, making friends, not small talk, right? It's about being prompted through honesty, curiosity, and real human connection. It obviously takes a little bit of vulnerability, but the idea is simple. When many people want deeper conversation, they don't always know how to begin. You don't always know how to begin that private conversation. And so we have to create the environment. So when that right environment exists, authentic connection happens faster. So one meaningful conversation. Talked about this yesterday. All it takes is one meaningful conversation can change what feels possible and actually change what is. Because authenticity grows when it is welcome. That is Skip the Small Talk. All right, there's their founder, Ashley Kersner, based on psychology too, by the way. Cornell University and Harvard. She's done the TED Talk. A little bit about her origin story out there in Boston, where Skip the Small Talk started. They actually started a community, capital T, if anybody knows the significance of the T in Boston, that's their transport system. Absolutely. They started holding dinners and events, and now they have, I look at their list of events, they're all over the world with these events. It's pretty amazing. Check out Small Talk. All right. There it is, the little break. Got a second one in because I rambled on about Small Talk. All right. And fade. I announced my fades. Anyway, I'm having fun today on the buttons. What's going on out there? Nothing is a coincidence when you give yourself, without looking for anything back, does come back as you need 100-fold. Keep being kind and generous of heart and mind. Absolutely. Can I try something? Oh, look at that. I always wondered how people did that. And look at that. I just figured out how to do it. There's Roseanne's comment. Hey, there you are, Jess. I'm going to start adding comments. That's awesome. Never knew how to do it. Literally just have to click a button. Be curious. I'm learning as I go. Jess, there's you. Yep. Your world is being, your comments are being published to the world. To the world. Absolutely. It's so nice of you all to join me here on Kindness Rising this morning. And as promised, I'm going to get into a little bit of a personal spotlight that I wrote about my journey. My journey. All right, we'll go with this one. She would like this. The person that I am talking about today, I am talking about someone who influenced my own visibility journey. Absolutely. And I try to work on these buttons again today. All right. Yes, there's a woman out there who influenced me, who I didn't know a year ago, and who I met here, or not here, but in the digital world last March. I told my story. In February, I started kind of dabbling around in comments and posting and exploring and figuring out what I was going to do here in the digital world. And on a Saturday morning, I was at the computer and I'm like on LinkedIn and I'm looking and I read this. I read a post and it just connected with me. And it was a simple post. It wasn't about anything. It was connecting over a moment and a song lyric, actually. A small moment that easily could have passed by unnoticed, but it didn't. And the person I started interacting with is none other than the incomparable Amy Reinert, who's been an amazing inspiration for me. During National Women's Month last March, she was posting daily reflections, thoughts, and stories about women in history that invited real conversation, and I saw the way that she was able to engage with her audience, her willingness to share herself authentically as well, and creating space for others to do the same, including me. Her posts, they encouraged me to begin sharing myself more personally and to move beyond just professional ideas. I started posting about my cats. I started posting about my own story of finding my way and being on this journey, and to speak more openly about my experiences, my perspectives, and growth. Amy and I interacted nearly daily, definitely for a couple months, for a while. We still interact regularly, not as religiously as we did right up front there, as we've moved on in different aspects of our lives. But I will never forget Amy Reiner for introducing me to the powers of LinkedIn, and eventually a phone call, and talking from a parking lot with no agenda or no objective, just two people trying to connect. And that conversation, it meant an incredible amount to me, right? And making those connections, and the connections and the ripples that are lifelong and lasting. And that's where the important part comes, because shortly after that, in the middle of April, the end of April last year, I got a post from an unknown to me at the time individual, and an invite to appear on a podcast, and it was Keith Billis, who was joining me, who was inviting me to join Mornings in the Lab. And when I looked at this strange guy's portfolio, whose name comes up but Amy Reiner. Of course, that's the way the network works. And I reached out to Amy and she said, you know what? He is the real deal. And that encouragement helped to give me the confidence to say yes here, to show up live, and to eventually take a step that ultimately shaped the full direction of this last year. And I don't know what it's going to do into the future. But the point is that sometimes visibility doesn't start with a spotlight. It starts with just one person taking time, two people encouraging each other. So I want to say thank you to Amy. Thank you for showing up authentically and for creating space that encouraged others, including myself, to show up as themselves. So thanks, Amy. I look forward to many years of interacting and growing together, because your presence made a difference to me, and it continues to. Thanks. All right, Amy, cool. That's Amy. I just showed you her profile. She's actually an amazingly accomplished woman in the world of marketing, the chief marketing officer, and just like I said, she's an amazing writer, creative mind. Family and her dogs are a huge part of her life, but I have watched the way she has lifted other people up, particularly women who are in the position to move and grow and maybe don't know how to do it. I've watched Amy support those people, and it's an amazing inspiration. So that is that. Thank you so much. Apparently, Jess, your comment is still up there on the keep moving forward. Absolutely, Keith. Being kind is key to keep moving forward. Yes, I'm improving my digital literacy. Love that. All right. Thanks, Sully. I appreciate your input too, buddy. It means a lot to me that that you're out here watching me grow and deliver what I can. Absolutely. All right. We're gonna get this tune off of here, though. Enough of that song. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a great day today out there in the mornings in the lab network land, and welcome to Kindness Rising, your morning dose of hope, humanity, and heart. I come here every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, to get us up and get us going together. Please get involved in the chat. Please say hello. I appreciate you. And Jess, yes, I'll be glad to help make you visible. There you go. I just made you visible. I appreciate your cat picture too there. Of course, thanks for coming in live with us here at Kindness Rising. What are you getting up and getting after today as we continue our morning run over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends at 8 o'clock and continue to grow. We've got some exciting news coming up here on the network. We've got What the Truck, our show focused on veterans, United States veterans who are doing great things out there in the world. You can tell I'm fussing around with the buttons here. What the Truck's coming up. It's going to be an awesome show featuring U.S. veterans, positivity that they're doing, and the connection to trucks. There's a little angle there for sure today on Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Don't forget to tune in for the No Safe Words segment with Brianna Bass. Don't forget Fridays over there, John Petruccelli, BS or No BS. And we've got some exciting partnerships coming up here this spring. The network is taking off, and I expect to be able to make some serious, exciting announcements coming up because we are attracting attention. We are attracting interest from the world because of what we are able to do in terms of lifting up voices. And plus, we're just really cool, fun people to work with. And we've got an amazing, amazing product and service. Just much, much, much more to come. You're only seeing the tip of the iceberg with our morning shows right now, because we're not just building shows. We're not building a network or a platform. This is the Mornings in the Lab platform. All right, keep an eye out. And of course, authenticity. We're still talking about authenticity. It's often misunderstood. I think this was an point that I wanted to make, which is authenticity doesn't mean complete transparency. Sometimes we lean into over sharing. That happens sometimes too, and which is okay. I believe in that kind of transparency and sharing what you're comfortable with. But really, what authenticity is about is alignment. The alignment between what you believe and what you say and how you show up. And that's what we do here on the Mornings in the Lab. As you go live and you start to evolve, your authenticity has to come through. That alignment becomes quite visible. It's a risk. There's a risk in putting yourself out there, but it's a risk you have to take in order to open up your world to opportunities and show people your EAT. We've talked about EAT before. We'll talk about it again. That's your experience, your expertise, your authenticity, your trust, and lastly, a little bit of entertainment. Absolutely, we got to keep people's attention. But authenticity is the part that builds trust and does it naturally, right? People see and can sense consistency and coherence. And when someone is comfortable actually in their own voice versus just reading a script robotically, right? Or connecting with people naturally, people start to see those patterns, but it has to be done over time. Familiarity, building trust, and building opportunity. That's what we do on Mornings in the Lab Network. That's how we help you build your tribe and your community too. All right. So here's a challenge. Here's a challenge for today before we wind down on Mornings in the Lab. Your challenge today is to share something honest. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be overly personal, just honest. An idea you're exploring that maybe you've been hiding away with, a question you're considering, something that's been on your mind, maybe something that you're learning or that you're working to understand better, right? Because authenticity is going to invite that conversation, and conversation creates connection. That's what we're talking about all week long here on Kindness Rising, the courage to be seen. So if you notice someone else sharing honestly, encourage them. Acknowledgement will strengthen their courage. Thank you so much again for joining us here on Kindness Rising. Let's wind it up and head on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Don't forget to check out the network. Don't forget to spend some time with Cheryl Raphael Whitaker on It Starts with Joy Live. Don't forget to spend time with Jason Hewlett on the Jason Hewlett Show. And just keep coming back here to Kindness Rising, because when we release the pressure to perform, we create space to participate. Participation allows discovery. Discovery allows growth, and growth builds confidence. And here's the thing, once you're confident, that authenticity just becomes so much easier. Stick with us all week. I'm going to continue to share my reflections from the past year, what I've learned, who I've met, and how I'm choosing visibility and how it's shaped my thinking. Not perfectly, just honestly, because authenticity doesn't require perfection. It requires presence. Come on back tomorrow morning. I will see you at 7:30 a.m. Eastern every weekday. And until then, stay uncommon and stay kind. What if your mornings could be inspiring and ridiculously fun.
Kindness Rising isn't just a show, it's a full wake-up vibe.
It's freaking fun, people.
Yeah, man, it's got real get after it energy.
I love it.
Wake up with Kindness Rising.
I help purpose-driven people grow their impact. 5-ingredient recipe to help you build your personal brand. Get out there and take kind action.
If it's live, they'll feel it.
On Kindness Rising, we bring you proven strategies and fresh ideas you can actually use. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Exactly. Fail fast, rebound faster.
You'll see the bloopers and the genuine connections that make kindness contagious. We sometimes get into a little bit of trouble.
Pretty much my life made the list.
You can trust what you see right here is honest, respectful, and uplifting. Social impact organizations, and we always talk about them. Try kindness. It's way cheaper than therapy. You just made my day.